listening to the best music. The hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment. Picture of a chandelier on my head. I see the diamonds wet everywhere. I know you see me drenched in finesse, in finesse. Greetings and salutations, friends. If you had your bargain, see you to proud. And make sure you tune the Black Fire Radio. And you're listening to Greetings and salutations, everyone. If you had your bargain, see you to proud all the way to Switzerland. And reaching out to all of our brothers and sisters out there. You're tuning into. You're now listening to the best music. Feel the freshness. 1 hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment. You're now listening to the best music. Feel the freshness. Yeah, I'm a fashion killer. Yeah, I got much to deliver. Yeah, when I pass the shiver, and I ask to take out. Feel the hits. Feel the freshness. You're now listening to the best music. 1 hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment. Why did you make me to do it? Why did you make me lose it? Why did you give me the drugs and took? Why did you force me to take me? You're now listening to the best music. Well, I had not much. Things you get to me were worse. And I'll apologize no more. But I'm sorry to love somebody that would hurt me. In the baddest dance I put you 20. I died when you left me. Oh sadly, I've been crying my eyes out with honey. I've been drowning my sorrows in a bottle. I've been smoking very much since you left me.
Happy days, family. How you doing? Welcome to Let's Pop with Ewart on this beautiful afternoon. I hope you're having a beautiful week. I hope you're all feeling rejuvenated after a weekend or last night. But welcome to Let's Pop with Ewart, where we always talk about redefining Africa as we redefine ourselves, as you basically tune in on the best radio station, the Blackout Fire Radio Network, media of the 21st century. We'll always talk about redefining Africa as we redefine ourselves. Also, don't forget to download our app on the Google Play Store. Stream on www.blackoutfirenetwork.com for amazing healthy supplement apparel clothing with the Black Hot Fire Radio logo on it. Remember, it's always about Ubuntu, the African awakening, but it's always about supporting each other also. That's why you should stream on www.blackhotfirenetwork.com using the iPhone to get yourself amazing apparel clothing with the Black Hot Fire Radio logo on it. The likes of penny hats, t-shirts, sandals, lights. We have bags with our logo on it. Remember, you are whatever you consume. But as we get into our conversation about Hail Africa, the beauty of Africa, the land, the food, and the reason why Africa is the most fruitful land of all time. This is Ira Star with Toxic.
Every night I cry, just to blame myself for loving you like I did. You like I did. I go like to know you don't know, baby. Cause it's been 4 weeks of calling, you know, baby. Yeah, you know, baby. Feel the freshness. Making heaven, that's me and you. That's me. Greetings and salutations. You believe in trust, just barely know we do. I'm so lonely and missing you. Baby, but I'm sorry.
You're now listening to the best music.
I be human being, no. Miss your loving, baby, say you don't miss me, too. I be human being, no. 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 Every day I'm thinking about you, and I want your loving all night long. Hold it, I like the way you control it. I like you when you just hold me when I see you in the morning. My sugar, my blues, yeah, what would I do? What would I do? Yeah. Do you believe in us? See us we blend like gin and juice. Live in heaven, that's me and you. That's me and you. Do you believe in trust? Transparency and all we do. I'm so lonely, I'm missing you. I'm missing you. Baby, but I'm sorry.
And coolest mashups of the moment.
Baby, say you don't miss me, yo. I be human being, no. I be human being, no. You know, say I be, yeah. I'm human, I'm human, I'm only human, I'm human. I be human being,
Irish giving us live and direct over there. But thank you for the ones who are joining me live on YouTube, Pitchute and Rambo. It's your girl, the one and only Iriton Longoria, always permeating positive energy. I hope you're feeling magical. Sending you so much love and light this beautiful Wednesday. But welcome to Let's Pop with Iriton. Before we start the conversation of the day, this beautiful, beautiful afternoon, remember we do have amazing healthy supplements to basically give you that healthy, beautiful lifestyle. So kindly let's listen in to the health and benefits of some of the supplements we do have for you on our website to give you a nature of basically what you should be expecting as you're ordering these supplements and the apparel clothing.
Fuel your body with complete multivitamin, the perfect balance of essential nutrients for daily health and wellness. Carefully formulated from natural ingredients, our multivitamin packs vitamins A, C, D, E, plus key minerals like zinc and magnesium to support your immune system and boost energy. Just one tablet a day is all you need. Take it with water and feel the difference as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Stay active, stay strong, stay ready with Complete Multivitamin, your daily dose of vitality. Complete Multivitamin, simple, powerful nutrition. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition store.
For $32.90, super affordable. You can find other supplements on our website, which will definitely work for you. But welcome to Let's Pop with Iriton. The conversation is Hail Africa. He's talking about definitely we're giving accolades to Africa as a continent. We have news and updates regarding Congo that signed the craziest contract with the United States of America. And also, Morocco signs a shocking deal with the AES. And also, we do have news and updates regarding Air France, which is banned from these particular African countries. But we're going to start with a conversation regarding the contract that Congo has signed with the United States of America. And we understand that Congo is one of the most wealthiest country in Africa that I can say, because it produces gold, great minerals, lithium, name it. But let's understand why Congo had to sign this contract with the United States of America right away.
Investing fellas, The Democratic Republic of Congo is going to be the latest African country to accept Starlink of Elon Musk. We know Elon Musk has been pushing Starlink very, very strongly across Africa with some resistance. We also know that every country that has resisted the accessibility of Starlink have been facing Donald Trump's wrath big time. We can name Lesotho, they were under a lot of pressure, and then they change across and say Starlink can't come. We're going to get into that. What's up, everybody? All people doing good? Ethiopia, yes, Nigeria. Meta or Facebook will not be operating in Nigeria anymore. Yes. Now, we don't know if it's just Facebook or Instagram will stop and WhatsApp would stop. Why? Because Nigeria is asking for lots of money from Meta. We're going to find out just now. Okay, so let's get back on track. We are in DRC. Here's the map. The beautiful thing about this place is we talk about places. We also show you the map so you know where we're talking about.
If they literally signed this contrast, actually they've put themselves in a super tight corner, literally. Like control is literally going on.
It's family. We cannot pretend everybody understand. I think it is our duty to make sure everybody in this community feels comfortable. Great stuff. Is it beautiful or not? There you go. So let's do this just to show that it's beautiful, that we show the maps. There you go. DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. Just so you can understand, there are two Congos. There's Congo Republic and the Democratic Republic of Congo. They're two different countries. Well, some of the people used to be the same people back in time until colonialism came. One of the Congos was colonized by the French. This other one was colonized by the Belgians. This is the Congo that has a lot of wars and killings and stuff. Anyway, Democratic Republic of Congo said on Friday,
DRC UAC contract authorizes Elon Musk Starlink to operate as an internet service provider.
It had become the latest African country to grant a license to tech billionaire Elon Musk. Starlink, the company, will be in operation soon. I know this raises a lot of questions. Now, the satellite internet provider is rapidly expanding its service on the continent and operating more than a dozen countries now, including Somalia and Lesotho. War-torn Congo has low connectivity, with just around 30% of the population using the internet in 2023. Congo, fellas, is about 100 million human beings, and only 30% have access to Google. Crazy stuff. Well, this is crazy because the government had previously resisted allowing Starlink access to the country, with military official warning it could be used by rebel groups, including Rwandan-backed M23, which has seized more territory than ever before in the east side of the country. So, government military said they shouldn't allow Starlink in the country because Starlink, being a satellite internet service provider, it could be used by rebel groups in the Congo.
Also, as a way to interrogate what's really happening in Africa, what's really going on in Africa.
The government. Well, Congo has about 100 different small portions of rebellions, crazy stuff. The country's been through the most for the past 30 years. It's mayhem, women being taken by force. You know what I mean by taken by force? People being unalive, butchered, crazy, insane. Why? Because Congo is a rich, rich nation. They have gold, diamonds, coltan, uranium. Yes, the uranium used to bomb Hiroshima and Nagasaki was extracted from Congo at Shikolobo. This is where it was extracted. So the country has enough goods to feed everybody. Congo has the Inga power plant. This power plant in the Congo, if it's functional, could supply the entire Africa with electricity. Congo is the richest country in the world in terms of minerals. Every cell phone in the world.
100%. And I'm contemplating about this right now. The fact that maybe they may not be able to use organizations as UN, all these UNEP organizations that they have been trying to use or been using to actually run their bid in Africa, because people are super aware of the main agendas of this organization. They'll actually tap into technology because you're not going to question it as much, but still people have to question it. And that's what I'm thinking about Starlink.
Well, if you use a cell phone, you should be thinking about the Congo because there are parts of it that come from the Congo. Electric cars will not function without the Congo. That is one of the reasons why they want the country to be within mayhem and be crazy. Because if the country is at peace, then you're going to have to pay the right price for the goods. But if the country is at war, then you can cooperate with small rebel portions, supply them with weapons, and buy things at a cheaper price for them. Now, we're going to talk about the Congo if you want. We're talking if you want us to talk about the Congo comprehensively, please write on the comment section. Please talk about the Congo, and we will talk about it. Now, why has the Congo reversed its policy of saying we will not allow?
And also, I would love to think about this in a higher note. What ultimatums were they given for them to sign this contract? Also, they didn't have to. I believe definitely Starlink is in a lot of African countries, but we understand Congo, like the land produces very rich minerals that the world need to actually develop in higher time, literally to run technology.
Starlink in the country because Starlink may allow rebel groups to use it to bombard us. DRC has been accusing Rwanda of meddling in the country. There are rebel groups in the Congo named M23. These M23, according to the Congo, are supported by Rwanda. So in other words, Rwanda is just lying. They created M23, and M23 goes to the Congo to loot, to steal, to take gold, diamonds, uranium, and coltan, and many of the riches, produce over $600 million per month, whilst pretending to be Congolese, whilst in the meantime they are actually Rwandese. That is the version of Congo. Rwanda separated himself from
without Congo, there's not going to be Rwanda. There wouldn't be Rwanda, literally.
23, they say they have nothing to do with them.
Does Rwanda currently have any troops at all in Eastern DRC?
I don't know.
You're the commander-in-chief.
Yeah, you should know. You're the commander-in-chief. You should definitely know this.
There are many things I don't know.
Why? Oh my God, this is the president of Rwanda, and this is how he's answering this question. While the neighboring country is a dire war, and we have a very nonchalant president who doesn't know what's really happening, but he does know what's really happening.
The version of Congo. Rwanda separated himself from M23. They say they have nothing to do with them.
Does Rwanda currently have any troops at all in Eastern DRC?
I don't know.
You're the commander-in-chief.
Yeah, there are many things I don't know. But if you want to ask me, is there a problem in Congo that concerns Rwanda, and that Rwanda would do anything to protect itself? I'd say 100%.
Does this risk a war in the region?
I don't know.
But satellite images show that Rwandan government support M23. Now, Congolese people have spoken a lot, saying, well, yeah, this is our country, it's our land, you can't fight us over our land. As you can see on the map, Rwanda is a very small country compared to Congo. It looks like...
And that's why it's thriving, and that's why it's literally surviving because of Congo.
Like the Congolese people don't want to engage the Rwandans in the fight. For some reason, some are blaming America for supporting Rwanda, saying America supplies Rwanda with weapons and stuff like that. But
also the fact that the president of Rwanda has been painted innocent. He looks like he's the most amazing thing, and his works actually depicts it, quote unquote.
You think about it, Rwanda is less than 10 million people. Congolese people are 100 million people. Why can't you shut down a country that's less than 10 million people? Unless your people don't want to fight, or unless your people are scared to fight. Well, Congo is one of the countries where people pray the most. They love praying Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, January, Thursday, every single day. And I'm a firm believer that once a man prays every single day, he loses something of his animality. I think men need to keep that animal instinct. It's very necessary to protect your family. If you don't have animal instinct, people will come and touch the butt of your mother and you will be unable to do anything. And what you can do only will be, I'm leaving your action within the hand of God. People will come and touch your daughter in front of you and you will say, I'm leaving it within the hand of God. I'm waiting for justice coming from heaven. And unfortunately, some people believe Congolese men have become like that. They wait for the justice of God. So instead of standing and fighting, they've gone to Donald Trump, saying, Donald Trump, because we're losing terrain against these people, how about we offer you a lot of our riches? We're going to give you minerals. You can come invest here and get all the stuff from us. Coltan, gold, and all that, you name it. Provided you bring us peace. So instead of us sharing with Rwanda, let's share with you so you can bring peace in the Congo. Well, then Donald Trump said to them, it's a good idea. I want to come to the Congo and take some of your stuff for free, but I can't do it without Rwanda because Rwanda is claiming a big part of your country. Now, things Congolese people could have done with Rwanda directly, perhaps discuss with them and find a solution. They've gone to Donald Trump. Now they won't divide by 2, they will divide by 3. Do you understand? If Congo and Rwanda had to talk to finish the beef, they would have divided the goods by 2. Now they've involved Trump, hoping Trump will say, okay, Rwanda, goodbye, we don't want you here. Trump said, let's share with Rwanda as well. So they're eating 3 people. But the other option would have been Congolese people to train their people, make them real men so they can go fight against 10 million people. After all, you have 100 million men. What are they used for? They go to concert Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If they're not in concert, they're at prayer. It's just crazy stuff. Somebody said, before you teach your kid how to pray, you need to teach them how to fight. Before you send them to church, you need to send them to war.
And coming in back to that conversation, understanding the fact that Europe or the globalists still run Africa, we have the European Parliament debates Tanzania sanctions after treason charges against Lissu. This is a European Parliament debating over sanction after treason charges against Lissu. So his arrest follows mounting tension between the ruling Chama Pinduzi party at the opposition amid growing calls for electoral reform. On April 12th, the Independent National Elections Commission controversially boarded Chadema from contesting the upcoming election. The European Parliament motion raises alarm at this development, particularly in light of past incidents involving enforced disappearance and politically motivated killings. The resolution, citing Tanzania's constitution and the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, calls on Tanzania's authorities to ensure justice for victims of political repression and to immediately release Lissu. It further urges dialogue between CCM and opposition parties and calls on the African Union, which literally does not really represent Africa if you actually research more about it, to help mediate a solution which actually doesn't play that part a lot, whilst acknowledging Tanzania's support for limitations on free speech as per an Afrobarometer survey. The motion emphasized that development aid, including 726 million euros from the EU and 1.2 billion euros in bilateral support, must be tied to democratic principles and effective governance. The resolution also voices concern about Tanzania's deepening health crisis, ongoing poverty, and projected population surge, warning these factors may fuel mass immigration if not addressed. And all this is under the European Parliament as they also debate about the Tanzanian sanction after the war treason charges against Lissu.
At least for training. And now we're moving to Burkina Faso. In Burkina Faso, fellas, Coca-Cola is significantly investing in Burkina Faso. Congratulations to Burkina Faso. It's great stuff, you know. And it's sad talking about the Congo when you see men just complain, oh yeah, they're attacking our country, yeah, they're looting our stuff, but go fight. You know, it's tiring to you. You just cry. You men or you women, go and fight. So you can bring your own justice. Then, oh no, we don't want to fight because they're supported by America. Come on, Vietnam fought America. Who supported Vietnam?
They have been fighting for the longest. They have been fighting. I can attest to that.
Nobody. Vietnamese and big heart. You don't. Anyway, let's get back to Burkina Faso. Now, in Burkina Faso, Coca-Cola is investing big time. Basically, with the new 6.7 acres factory currently under construction. This factory built by local firms. Local firms are building for Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola is building in Burkina Faso, but they're not using Coca-Cola people. They're using Burkina Faso people. The investment.
I believe if you take control and take back your power because you understand your heritage and your position, everything that was trying to control you and the fact that they understand it's the other way around, like they need you, you don't need them, will literally bow down to your grievances. We also have Morocco, which signs a shocking deal with the AES.
The people that are not in your life anymore. How many people have disappointed you at the core, at the deepest level? And I'm not talking about small, stupid disappointment. people you never thought could have done some of the worst things that's been done to you, and you were extremely hurt, vexed in your own self. Brotherhood is proven. Okay, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger. What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Thank you very much.
That makes up the AES.
For stopping by, you appreciate it. You know, here we talk about Africa. You want to know about the lands, the motherland, you're at the right place. Uganda, Tanzania, Burundi, you're in the right place. You want to know about South Africa, Zimbabwe, Zambia, you are at the right place, my brother. You want to know about Ghana, Nigeria, Benin, Togo, you're in the right place. Namibia, Malawi, you name it, Sudan, you're in the right place. Okay, we can't name everybody. I see you from all over the place. Thank you, Jamaicans. Thank you, Trinidad, Tobago. Thank you, St. Lucia. Thank you, everybody. United States of America, all our people in Australia, we see you. Okay, great stuff. Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger. I'm sure you've seen this so many times because everybody's talking about them. It's amazing right now. Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger. Great news. What is it? Well, the landlocked countries.
All countries will just basically be a part of the AES because we've been seeing countries just joining in and day out in regards to how Burkina Faso is doing amazing, and they've become a pet. And now we have Morocco being a part of that organization. So it's a good thing that we have a lot of people actually rising up. And I believe it's because of the confidence and the leadership of Ibrahim Traoré.
You can see they are landlocked. I'm going to get back to that. Have endorsed an initiative by Morocco to give them access to the Atlantic Ocean. This was said by Moroccan Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
We express to His Majesty the appreciation of our heads of state for the consistent stance of the Kingdom of Morocco and His Majesty, for the way in which he manages the Kingdom of Morocco's relations with the so-called transition countries, including Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, by maintaining dialogue with our countries, but also by having confidence in the unique genius of our peoples.
The foreign ministries of the three military-ruled West African countries shared their country's position during a meeting Monday with King Mohammed in Rabat, the capital of Morocco, according to ministry statement. Now, what does this mean, my brothers? This means these three countries are going to work with Morocco in order to give them access to the sea. And you're probably asking yourself, why Morocco? Why not these other countries? As you can see, it's very simple. These three countries used to have access to the sea, okay? And they used to have access to the sea from the south. Look at the map. You see them from the south? Yes, brother. This is the south is down, the north is up, east is this side, and west is that side, okay? We family. You cannot pretend that everybody knows, okay? You maybe know, you're very smart, went to good school. Not everybody has that opportunity. Matter of fact, I was talking to somebody recently, a lady. She said to me she never went to school. She cannot write properly. And I was like, really?
And for them to give them access to the sea, they had to become a part of the AES.
That's but the effort she was making to write, I'm like, wow, congratulations. This is a grown woman. She's a beautiful woman. She's got her own business. She travels and buy stuff from I don't know which country in Asia and bring back to Africa and resell. She's doing great. She's beautiful, but she said she never went to school like that. So we cannot pretend that everybody knows. We need to show you the map so everybody understands. And also, yeah, it's out of love. Great. Now, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger used to go to the south. You see the south? Yeah. They used to go to the south to access the sea. You're asking yourself, why is the sea important? The sea is very important for business. Every country needs the sea. What do you need the sea for? You need the sea to import good and export good. Now, let's say you're probably saying to yourself, why don't you use an aeroplane? I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you want to bring things coming from India. You're in Burkina Faso. And you have two ways to do it. Number one, you can do it via the airplanes, which is costly, expensive, and you have limited amount of things you can bring because an airplane can only carry so much things. Number two, you can bring it through the sea, which is much bigger, more convenient. You can put in as much container as you like. Now, people like to do the sea because you can do a lot of things. And because the sea is important, you have to have good collaboration with your neighbors who are next to the sea so they can give you access.
It's a good pack in regards to Morocco signing a good deal with the AES. So I believe it's going to be a part of the organization. But before we move forward to news and updates regarding the real reason why they want to kill Ibrahim Traore, different perspective about it. We have no more dollars in Tanzania because Tanzania bans payment in foreign currency. That's a good deal to it, even though we know like maybe the leadership is not what we really want it to be, or maybe not like the way Ibrahim Traore is literally governing his country. We have the Bank of Tanzania, which has issued a sweeping directive requiring all goods and services in the country to be priced and paid for exclusively in Tanzanian shillings. It is an offense to quote or advertise or indicate prices in foreign currency, to compel, facilitate, or accept payment in foreign currency, or to refuse payment made in Tanzanian shillings, the central bank said in a statement on Monday. The move bans companies and traders from listing prices or signing new contracts in dollars or any other foreign currency. And businesses, especially those in border trade with Kenya, are expected to feel the impact of the directive as Kenyan farms will now need to convert funds into Tanzanian currency before transacting. The central bank says the policy is aimed at strengthening the Tanzanian shilling and boosting national economic stability. It has urged citizens to report any violations of the directive. The new rule takes effect immediately with a 1 year transition window for contract adjustments. That's what's happening in Tanzania in regards to basically transitioning from using the USD to the Tanzanian Kenyan shillings. But we have an individual who's giving us pointers regarding why individuals are trying to kill Ibrahim Traore and why African presidents are super silent about what's really happening in Africa.
African systems cannot allow that. These people like controlling Africa through narratives. And what they do with people like Ibrahim Traore and previously somebody like Magufuli or even Gaddafi before him, when they say that you're in power illegitimately, when they create a narrative that then shows that you're in power illegitimately, with time, it starts to take hold. Revolution is not just about slogans and rhetoric, but it is literally about making the lives of people better.
Good.
So when these economies become stronger, because they are backed by Burkina Faso's gold, then they'll be in for a rude shock. Burkina Faso is in the process of setting up a national gold reserve, where there'll be actual gold, not just on paper, but a national gold reserve, and that gold will back their currency.
Do you think African presidents are jealous of Traore, the support he's getting, the love he's getting, the lessons people are picking from him? Is this a threat? Are they intimidated by this son of Africa? Subscribers.
The rains are about to start falling, the rains of revolution, the popular uprising of the African people who are completely
I
tired.
believe they're intimidated, they're in dire shame because most of them all definitely are being controlled in regards to what they should do, and they cannot break out of the chains. They cannot break the shackles off them. I believe it's because they are given ultimatums, so it's super hard for them to break out on that control.
And fed up, who are saying, Tosha, enough is enough. Africans are tired of the same old neocolonialism, the same old imperialism. Thomas Sankara Lane used to say that imperialism is a bad student. You chase away imperialism, it comes back and behaves in exactly the same way. And that's good news for Africans because we know exactly how imperialism behaves. And because we know how imperialism behaves, we are not going to be caught napping. So today, I am looking forward to us getting deeper into how does this movement look like? How does this popular uprising across Africa look like? And what is Ibrahim Traore's role in all that? Vis-a-vis when you look at the Americans fighting him, when you look at
He is a light to Africa and Africa itself. And also, he actually gives that structure of how leadership should look like mostly in the African continent, because we know how the African leadership, or basically leaders or politicians, are in Africa, but it actually breaks out of the box and basically gives a new strategy on how leadership should look like. I believe he's a light for a lot of African leaders, all African leaders, politicians to look up to.
The West fighting him, they are not just fighting him, but they are fighting what he represents. That the people are saying, enough is
Is
enough.
enough. Huh?
Yeah.
I love that you've said they are fighting what Ibrahim Traore represents. What does Traore represents in the African context?
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. Here's the thing. When you look at the grand arc of history across Africa, you realize that from the 1500s, when the Portuguese first came to the west coast of Africa and began the crazy slavery, and then that metamorphosed into the transatlantic slavery, the trans-Saharan slavery, and then colonialism, and now neo-colonialism, what we're living in. When you look at all that period, you get to see the utter exploitation of the Africans. Now, Ibrahim Traore represents an African. He embodies that spirit of uprising, that spirit of independence, that spirit of saying that we are now going to chart our own course. We are no longer going to allow anybody to be in the driver's seat and drive this vehicle, this amazing vehicle that is Africa.
Yeah.
And because he represents that lane, they realize that the one sure way of demoralizing the Africans who are being awakened in this current moment is to actually not only destabilize Burkina Faso and other African countries, but in the case of Burkina Faso, to drastically weaken Ibrahim Traore and even...
He is standing on fundamental truths on what leadership definitely looks like. And I believe the fact that we have the AES is actually bringing and raising confidence in a lot of leaders, some who did not have that art and that momentum to understand that it is possible for us to redefine the cause of the African continent.
Commit the ultimate sin, of taking him out. They realize that all that would really demoralize Africans because he represents this new Africa that the African people are completely ready for and completely embracing.
Yes.
But here's the thing, Lynn. Victor Hugo was a French writer, a French historian, a French poet, an essayist, and he said that no force on earth can stop an idea whose time has come. Now, the Westerners seem to forget that although it's Victor Hugo who said it, it is actually true that no force can stop an idea whose time has come. They forget that their own person actually said that they cannot stop Ibrahim Traore and they cannot stop the Africans today who embody that similar spirit of yearning for a new Africa, which is why in this scenario, you see, they tried to behave in exactly the same way. Remember, I've just told you that imperialism is a bad student that repeats the same mistakes and the same habits over and over again. And one of the habits that imperialism is really keen on doing all the time, one of the things that imperialism does in Africa is to destabilize African governments. And one of their favorite weapons is coup d'etat. They love coup d'etats. Lynn, there have been at least 214.
As we come back to that conversation, remember you can download our app on the Google Play Store, stream on www.blackhotfirenetwork.com for amazing healthy supplements, apparel, clothing with the Black Hot Fire Radio logo on it. Remember, you have amazing supplements for you. So let's listen into the health and benefits of multivitamin to give you a hook of what we definitely do have for you.
Fuel your body with complete multivitamin, the perfect balance of essential nutrients for daily health and wellness. Carefully formulated from natural ingredients, our multivitamin packs vitamins A, C, D, E, plus key minerals like zinc and magnesium to support your immune system and boost energy. Just 1 tablet a day is all you need. Take it with water and feel the difference as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Stay active, stay strong, stay ready with Complete Multivitamin, your daily dose of vitality. Complete Multivitamin, simple, powerful nutrition. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition store.
$92.90. And remember, if you're using the Android device, download our app on the Google Play Store, super free, to get yourself these amazing healthy supplements. And also on the apparel clothing sector or the store, you'll find amazing clothing for you with the Black Hot Fire Radio logo on it.
Coup d'etats in Africa since the 50s. Many of these coup d'etats were actually instigated by the imperialists, including the US of A. They were actually instigated and they were totally behind those coup d'etats. Every time they saw an African leader becoming strong or not dancing to their tune, they would instigate a coup d'etat.
Yes.
They would, in the name of training. Be very careful every time that America or Britain or France claim that they are training African soldiers on whatever, because embedded in this training are usually ideologies and building connections so that they get to know that they have people that they can always
rely on, and basically people who definitely betray us for them.
Remote control when the right time comes, because history is littered with instances with African soldiers who went for training, came back to Africa, and then led coup d'etats to remove leaders who were no longer dancing to the tune of the imperialists. So in this scenario, they tried that same thing. About a week or so ago, they actually tried a coup d'etat in Burkina Faso because it's a tool that they keep leaning on. So what they have done in this scenario is to have a situation where the Burkinabe people are already tired. The Burkinabe people are tired not of Ibrahim Traoré, but of the insecurity that is in their country. And today we're going to go a bit deeper to understand that insecurity, how it can be tackled, and how Ibrahim Traoré is actually tackling it. Because people don't often talk about what is the Burkinabe government under Traoré actually doing to tackle this insecurity. So now they're wearing down the Burkinabe people, because when half of your country is extremely insecure, at some point everybody has a breaking point.
Yes.
So they thought that now that the Burkinabe people are really getting tired, they can now instigate a coup. So they tried it, but it was thwarted. And we have 2 people to thank for the failure of the recent coup. The first one is Thomas Sankara. The second one is, of course, Ibrahim Traoré. Why Thomas Sankara? Because number one, Thomas Sankara is the one whose spirit is coming back. A spirit that believes in a Pan-Africanism, that is working for African people.
Yes.
A spirit that is completely opposed and completely resistant to the kind of neocolonialism that we see today. But also, Ibrahim Traoré, whose role model is Thomas Sankara, has also said that he will also keep learning from Sankara's shortcomings, especially as regards his own security. Because Thomas Sankara was an amazing leader, one of the best ever, not just in Africa, but in the entire world. And he was such a simple guy that he
literally did not fit into the system at all. And we see that with Ibrahim Traoré, and he talks about the fact that he's learning also from his shortcomings. And I read something beautiful, this beautiful one that says, do better to know better. Then after knowing better, you'll do better. But we move to another conversation about modern slavery and the fact that it is real.
Organize themselves. so they could see to it that Africa and her children are forever defeated and dominated. That was 136 years ago. Fast forward 2020, that agenda remains in place today. So 1963, our Pan-African fathers got together to undo the damage done by the Berlin Conference, but sadly, when they went Addis Ababa to Ethiopia, they were divided. We had the Casablanca group who were Ghana, Guinea, Mali, Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, and Libya. They said Africa for Africans, African Union now. But unfortunately, they were the minority. The majority were the Monrovia group, who said, we are the nationalists, let's not go too fast into this Pan-African thing. Let's go slow on it. So it is because they were the majority, they won. They came up with a compromise decision, which they called the Organization of African Unity. Every year, twice a year, the African heads of states would meet since 1963, precisely to discuss an Africa that spoke with one voice. And every year, year in and year out, for 56 years, they failed to reach a consensus until April of 2018. April of 2018, the African heads of state say,
I remember when Joshua Mapongo is here talking about the fact that actually don't even need the whole 54 countries in Africa to come together. Even if you have 10 with the same mindset as Ibrahim Traoré, I'm telling you, that's literally it. We need people who are super staunch and standing on fundamental ground, understanding it's possible. Because the fact that we have people who are still trying to get aligned with what's really happening, and the fact that everything is actually subconscious, whatever is happening right now, the awakening, people talking about the rise of Africa, people talking about the redefining of Africa, is actually getting into people's mindset. Subconsciously, people are actually taking in this energy of redefining Africa. So it's in the works. You might think like it might take years for us to have a better Africa, to have better Pan-Africanist leaders, but it's just in alignment. And the way these awakenings that literally happen like hiccups, that's how it's going to happen when just other countries join in together to become a force. And basically, that's how we take back our power and reclaim everything that has been eroded away from us.
The continued isolation and trading with the world stage as individual little bitty African countries equated to putting a wannabe boxer in the same boxing ring with a heavyweight boxer. That is not going to work. It was a recipe for decision, and unanimously they agreed. Better late than ever, and so it is. The African Continental Free Trade Area was born. It is such a monumental decision that is saying the boundaries that have kept us divided, they must be destroyed. That it is insanity of the highest order. That Malawi has to go to the world stage and trade with the United States. That Malawi has to go to the world stage and trade with China, and trade with India, and trade with EU. That little bitty country.
And that's how there's war between Rwanda and Congo. If this little fragmentation of countries wouldn't be there, we would all be living in Ubuntu, the Ubuntu analogy that we always talk about. But because this was actually pre-planned even before now, for us not to literally unite, for us not to actually have the mindset that we are all one and we're all brothers and sisters. That's why all this is happening, because of what really happened during the Berlin Conference.
That it is impossible for a business in Malawi to trade with a business in Nigeria, because it is very difficult to change your Malawi kwacha to a Nigerian naira. But it is very easy to change your naira and your kwacha to a US dollar or euro. That has got to come to an end. If we are going to grow our economies, if we are going to address the issues of unemployment over 60% of our youth, if we are going to address the issue of access to healthcare, access to quality education, infrastructure development, we must improve our economies. The way things are today, the cost of doing business is prohibitive. The cost of doing business in any African countries goes against any ability to grow our economies. Goods coming from East Africa to go to Central Africa, my brothers and sisters, they have to go all the way from Kenya down to Cape Town, then up the west coast, all the way to Cameroon, only to be ferried into Central Africa. It is insanity of the highest order, and it must come to an end. It is precisely what the African heads of state say we must put an end to. So it is the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which was supposed to begin in July of this year, thanks to COVID, has been moved forward to sometime next year. It is a decision that is going to usher in a new era in the history of the continent.
And it will definitely make Africa become more stronger, more powerful. And I believe and I support the fact that free trade within Africa should be, like, literally be commended unapologetically, because who are we asking questions and for what?
Decision that is saying the children of Africa must trade and move freely within their continent. Establish yourself in one country and you can spread like wildfire throughout the continent. Those non-tariff barriers that have been keeping us from trading with each other are in the process of being eliminated. The likes of Freedoms are working tirelessly to see to it that the harmonization of policies is a success, that those boundaries are completely eliminated. So when we hit the road running as a united Africa that is going to the world stage as one customs union, we are a powerhouse. Herein lies the problem, my brothers and sisters. And I want you to pay attention to this particular issue very clearly, because this is where you come in as the African diaspora. The Chinese are latecomers to the continent, but they're coming in fast and furious.
Because they know what they want, for sure. Before we move forward with that, she just said fast and furious. We have cardinals gather at Vatican to elect next pope. So Catholic cardinals from around the world will start voting for a new pope on Wednesday in the Sistine Chapel following the death of Pope Francis. The conclave is notable for its diversity and division among the cardinals, with some supporting progressive changes and others wanting to revert to traditional practices. The 133 voting cardinals have been meeting since April 28th to discuss the church's future. They will now enter a period of seclusion, surrendering their phones and taking an oath of secrecy until a new pope is elected.
They have a 100-year agenda for what they would like to do in Africa, how they would like to exploit Africa, how they would like to extract it.
But it's so true. The Chinese are literally coming in very fast. They're everywhere in Africa, and they've actually stabilized themselves without any questions.
As much as they can out of Africa. They have their 100-year plan, and they're just waiting, ready to move in faster and quadruple their presence in no time. The colonizers, same thing, they are ready, they've been present. What has slowed them down before was if you establish yourself in one country, it takes a long time to get yourself established just in one country. And to move to the next country, you got to start the process all over again. Well, guess what? With the African Continental Free Trade Area, that is no longer an issue. So they too have their own 100-year plan of how they intend to quadruple their presence. Let me remind some of you that the colonizers, they have been in Africa for centuries, but there has not been any development in Africa. Why? Because they were building the Africa that they wanted, the Africa that was benefiting them, the Africa that said we're only here to extract out of Africa, that the roads and railway lines that we are going to build are only going to be picking up the minerals from one country to the nearest exit point out of that country, from one forest to the nearest exit point to carry the lumber. All the extractive activities, if you follow the roads and railway lines that were built by the colonizers, they were strictly to their benefit. So the colonized, thus as it is, their exploitative and extractive agenda for Africa, they too are getting ready to quadruple their presence. The reality on the ground, my fellow African diaspora, is that as we speak, there is not a single African country that has the ability to build an airport. There is not a single African country that has the ability.
Ethiopia is doing that. Ethiopia is basically literally coming up with their own aeroplane as we're talking right now.
To build a railway line. So for those of yourselves who find complaining about the African heads of states giving contract to the Chinese, guess what? If all the Chinese were to stop going to Africa to build these railway lines, to build these infrastructure developments, who is going to build them? Because you my brothers and sisters, are sitting pretty in the United States, are sitting pretty in Europe, and you're sitting here complaining that China built the 600 megawatt plant in such and such a country, that China built such and such a railway in such and such a country.
I believe Africans are literally coming up right now, even Kenyans, because I read news and update regarding a new electric car that is actually being created. I can say that. So I believe also people are basically stepping into their power, and maybe it's the spirit of Ibrahim Traore. I believe we can do amazing things. We have brilliant mind that actually has not been put into works, but the fact that now we understand that we have our own self to actually redefine the cause of our economic, political sector and social sector by actually using our talents and gifts to basically redefine the cause of how we want our next 55 years to be, the next 10 years, the next 5, the next 20, 15 years to be. It's up to us by actually starting with our own self and basically using every platform that we do have to redefine the cause of our own countries, or basically the cause of Africa. That's how it definitely starts.
Well, let's suppose the Chinese stop making that railway. Go tell it to the grandmother who is 75 years old, has never had electricity in her life, that electricity is getting ready to come to her village, but you, the diaspora, you don't want it to happen because you don't want the Chinese to build it. Go tell it to the grandpa, 80 years old, who has never had running water, who has never had a third road to his village, that he can't help them because you, the diaspora, do not want the Chinese to build it. Does that even make any sense? Until you're prepared to come together, pull your financial resources together, until you're prepared to come together and have and present to the African heads of states.
That is so true. Let's talk about re-strategizing, reorganizing. But I have so much faith that people are literally doing that all over Africa. That's what people are doing. May not be something you listen to or talk about or you see each and every day, but you'll be super surprised that the spirit of Ibrahim Traore is literally permeating everywhere and is actually rising confidence to a lot of Africans to basically step into their own power and basically understand their African heritage and live within it and actually live by it each and every day. But basically, we're winding up with that this beautiful, beautiful afternoon. Let's pop with Irutan. The topic has been Hail Africa. Talking about basically is about Africa, its potential, its leaders, and the fact that we can definitely live with the spirit of Ubuntu. The potential of Africa is super, super beautiful. But also remember, you can basically download our app on the Google Play Store, stream on www.blackhotfireradionetwork.com for amazing healthy supplements, apparel clothing with the Black Hot Fire Radio logo on it for amazing healthy supplements also, and the apparel clothing that I mentioned earlier. Good afternoon, Jerome Mosquito. But I'm winding up. Before I do that, let's listen into the health and benefits of Brain Focus.
Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Super, super affordable. We have the likes of Ashwagandha. We do have Aloe Cool Cucumber. For the ladies, also we do have the shea butter to give you that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful skin. But before also I wind up, I'm going to share a beautiful motivating video to pump you throughout your evening, morning, wherever you are at.
Your lips are actually a magnet. Every word you speak pulls energy into your life. Every time you speak, you're sending out a frequency and pulling matching experiences back to you. Speak fear, and fear finds you. Speak love, and love moves closer. Your words are magnets, shaping your world. Most people don't realize they're attracting their struggles with their own voice. Every complaint, every doubt, every careless word strengthens the wrong reality. But when you speak with power, when you speak as if what you desire is already yours, you magnetize it into your life. Guard your lips. Speak only the words you want to live, because what you say, you summon. Remember, your lips are actually a magnet. Use them wisely and watch your world transform. Comment lips for access to our...
Now, to understand, your words create your reality. But that has been it with me, Iriton Longorian. Let's Talk with Iriton. Have a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. Sending you so much love and light this beautiful day. Remember, you are the change you need to see in the world. Much love. Take care and have a good one.
Feel the freshness. And I'm reaching out to all of our brothers and sisters on the African continent. You're tuning into Live Fire Radio.
You're now listening to the best music.
Feel the freshness.
1 hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment. You're now listening to the best music.
Feel the freshness.